Today I'm going to walk you through the final decisions I made on this quilt, including the name Una, which means one in Latin. So the first thing I did was I took her garment down off the design wall and I put it on my cutting table, and I cut where I wanted to insert the stripe. And here you can see it's cut, but it's not yet sewn. Here is what it looks like after the stripe, the Fibonacci stripe, has been sewn in place. Next, I pressed under the raw edges of the neck piece. After pressing, I pinned it onto the garment and began to hand stitch it down. I am a person who loves hand stitching, and I don't have the time that I used to have to do it. So in the evenings, this is usually what I do. And you might notice that the background is different. I'm not in my studio, and that's because there's no air conditioning in my studio. So when it gets too hot, I simply move to the house portion of my building. I live in an old hardware store built in 1900, so my studio is in the store part, and my house is in, I think, what was kind of the apartment. The next thing I needed to do was to pop out the papers from the hexagons. And if you recall, this is a leftover unit from a previous quilt. And I just love it when I actually do get to use something that didn't work out for one quilt in another quilt. I may love hand quilting and hand stitching, but it is not without its hazards. If you recall from last week, I mentioned that I had some new fabrics with spoon flower that were skin tones, and that I was also getting skin tones from Cherrywood fabrics. And I showed you the images, but here's the real fabrics. And can you tell I'm a little excited to open the Cherrywoods? Come on, Jamie, open it. These are spectacular, you guys. I cannot wait to start cutting into this fabric. Absolutely beautiful gradation of colors, and they work really well with my very own skin tones. I will have the links for both of those in the description. After I've sewn her garment together, I brought the rest of the components down, leaving these behind on the design wall. But I wanted to work out the layout, and I needed to make sure that it fit on my cutting table. So if you're wondering why my quilts are mainly one size or smaller, it's because I only cut on my cutting table. I don't cut on the floor. I don't have room to lay a quilt out on the floor in my studio, and beside that, I'm getting to that age where I really don't want to be cutting on the floor, if you know what I mean. So once I've determined the size, I put it back on the design wall because I do still want to look at it from a distance, and I want to look at it square on, etc. Next, I start adding the figure back in. So here you can see I'm playing with the placement. I've got her head tilted a little to the left, and this is really a fun part, honestly, because you get such a different, what's the word, not a perspective, you just get a different feeling. If you tilt her head a little, if you tilt her body a little, it's more expressive. She has a little more to say. Once I determined that this is the final layout, I need to figure out how to unite the figure and the background. So the first thing I do is I take the background and lay it back on my cutting table. And this time I did something a little different. I actually used some tape and taped down the background so that it wouldn't move when I bring the figure and lay her on top of it. Then I pin her in place, her whole body all the way around. And I have already pressed the 1/4 inch seam under. So once I've got her pinned down, all I need to do is hand stitch her to the background. Now I have done this different ways at different times. Sometimes I've done it by machine. Sometimes I've done it, I guess, a combination of machine and hand stitching. If I have the time, I really do prefer the hand stitching. If you notice, you can see I'm pulling that thread through my finger. I keep putting my finger down on top of it. That is because this particular thread is gets kind of knotted up, and pulling it through with my finger on top of it prevents that. So that's that's what you're seeing here. This is the back side, and you can see I have cut away the excess fabric. Here she is on my design wall, all assembled. And here she is quilted, hanging on my armoire, as my tradition goes. And here is a final look. I also want to give a shout out and a big thank you to the South Sarasota Quilt Guild. We did a weekend workshop and they did some pretty marvelous faces and eyes. So that was a really good time, and they now have 30 days free access to the membership as well, so that they can review the lessons if they like. So if you're interested, if your guild is interested, just reach out to me and I will send you the details. So before I go, a quick update on my workshops. Empty Spools is sold out. Madeline Island has some openings. Estelle Center had a cancellation, so you can still get in there. And of course, you can always join me online starting in January for my 6-month workshop. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.